Welcome back to Public Knuisance. We are here today with Lorely Mur, esteemed techno DJ, NASA employee. We can cut that out if we can't say that. Beautiful, beautiful soul. Welcome to Public Knuisance. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to kind of get into a little bit about what you've been up to. I know there's been a lot of things going on in your world. I'm going to adjust this a little bit so I can see you. So let's just talk about a little bit about what the projects you've had going on recently. What's the most recent thing that you've done?
Yes. So, well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me here. I am very excited and I appreciate the opportunity. My artist name is Lorely Mur. I am a techno artist. I am a DJ and producer. And I do space during the day. I work in the space industry and I've been doing that for a while. For what I've been doing on my career, I've been a DJ for almost 10 years. I started in Mexico when I got invited to play at Hardpop Club, which is like top 100 clubs in the world.
Hardpop Club?
Yes.
Okay, where is that?
It's in Mexico, in Ciudad Juárez.
Okay.
And it's recognized by DJ Mag as one of the best #1 club in North America, small club, and the top 100 in the world.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What kind of what kind of a vibe is it? Tell us a little bit about the club.
It's very tailored to more underground music, but it's not only techno. I am actually the only now there's two techno residents, but the vibe it's pretty amazing. The sound system is the best. It's customized by Dan Lee to the place, and it's just very amazing. I think what it's the most awesome part of the club is the people. So yeah,
that's always the best part of a club.
Right?
That's what makes the club the best, is the people.
Yes.
What's the nightlife scene like in Mexico? Like how would you compare it to the nightlife scene in America?
Well, it's very different. In Mexico, where I grew up, it's a border with Texas, and it's called the city Ciudad Juárez. And so I don't know, Juárez is a very special place because I think like with all of the war that it went through, a lot of the people saw this club, for example, or the underground nightlife as an escape and to a place to be like more like feel secure and feel yourselves and just like get loose. And so, yeah, I think that's why it holds a special place in our hearts.
Absolutely. And that ties in really nicely to what this whole idea and channel is about.
Exactly.
Is talking about the underground music scene, because a lot of people have kind of a skewed perspective of what we really do.
Exactly.
You know, people think of a underground after hours techno music and they think that we are crazy.
Right.
And we might be crazy. A little bit. But there's a really, really important space that this industry holds for people to really be themselves without judgment.
Exactly.
And to explore different consciousness and a different way of living.
Yeah,
and I think that's a
agree.
really big important thing that we're all trying to get to the bottom of when we do these interviews, is like, why are we doing this?
Exactly. No,
You know?
exactly. I totally agree with that. And I feel, it's one like nice thing about the underground music, especially techno, is, I don't know, you kind of like feeling free and feeling safe.
Yeah.
At the dance floor. It's like a lot of people might be like, I sometimes are like scared to even go to a rave, and it's like it's even safer than going to a nightclub.
It is, absolutely. I absolutely. And it's kind of like, I feel the same about like a mosh pit.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people think a mosh pit is scary, but really the people who are in a mosh pit are going to pick you up faster than anybody else. If you fall down, you're going to get picked up. So mosh pits and raves can seem like scary places, but they're not. And that's what we're here to tell the people is that there's a big agenda here, and it's a lot bigger than just partying till 5 a.m.
Exactly.
So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the trajectory of your career and where you see the next few months going, few months, few years.
Yes. So I've been, like I mentioned, at DJs like almost 10 years ago. I started, in my bedroom, like a bedroom DJ, like mostly, you know. And then after in an after party, I like to play a lot in after parties for like long hours. For one time, I played for like 12, and then this person came to me and he's like, I've been watching you. Would you like to play in a club? And I already went to that club before, obviously, and I already knew who he was. So I was like, yes. And it was Hardpop. And then that was the first place I played besides my DJ bedroom and house after parties. And I opened for Sofia Says. And after opening for Sofia Says, she asked me to close back to back with her that night. And I was like, oh, shit. That was a little scary. So I kind of almost fainted. And I started
first
to
gig,
vomit.
you had to go back to back with the headliner?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
And after that, the owner was like, what? And he asked me to be a resident.
Your first gig?
Yes. And then after that residency, a lot of doors open.
Yeah.
Because it's a very prestigious club.
Yeah.
A lot of, promoters from Chihuahua, which is the capital of my state. And then a lot of promoters from Mexico City and also from Tulum. And I started to be like more in the spotlight in Mexico. And it really depends, like back to your question, like how is, rave in Mexico? It really depends on the city. I prefer, I'm kidding, not prefer. I really love my city. I love Mexico City as well. They have like the best parties and then it's like all inclusive and, very free. And I really love that. Very different from here. Don't get me wrong. Here it gets also very, very cool, but it's just different type of culture.
Do you think that there's a difference in the care that people take with each other?
I don't know. I think like that is very personal as a person because, like in Mexico and in here, there can be like dangerous people. And there's a lot of Mexicans are warm, like they're very welcoming. But also here in the United States, I have a lot of friends who are very like, aware and trying to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Aware. Aware is a good word to describe it. Do you think that there's anything that the United States club scene could learn from the Mexican club scene?
I don't know. I think I don't know. Here it's the clubs, the raves are more like in clubs. That's very different type of like environment. Sure. There's a lot of afters lately.
Yeah, that's because we started them.
Yeah, exactly. you know, I'm part of that movement.
Yeah,
but it's like when I moved to Denver, it was not like this.
When did you move to Denver?
Like 7 years ago.
Okay.
So when I moved 7 years ago, I came here and I had a connection already with a promoter because of a friend that he was living in Mexico City and blah, blah, blah. So I came here for a gig first and then I moved. And then, I don't know, it was in a club and it's like, like kind of like the club vibes is very different with rave. I don't think they go together.
Well, that is something that's changing too in Denver since Insomniac bought the clubs.
Yeah.
So Church and Vinyl are both undergoing big changes right now.
Yeah.
And I am lucky enough to be involved with Insomniac and have the ability to, tell them how I feel about the clubs and what. I mean, that's why Insomniac hired all of these local promoters and things, right?
Amazing.
So that we can tell them what needs to be done with these clubs. Because
exactly.
I can tell you that I have been to the Church a couple of times since I have worked for Insomniac, and I have things to say.
Yeah, exactly. And it's always very constructive feedback because I kind of feel like a lot of owners of this groups. They don't quite understand the underground scene. And, like a VIP bottle service, like those kind of things is not aligned to what we are actually trying to convey.
No, absolutely not. You can't have a VIP bottle service when you're enthralled with the techno music.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's all about
you don't need the
inclusivity.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know?
There's no VIPs. That's
Exactly.
we are all one kind of a thing.
Exactly. So I think, like in Mexico, it's that way. It's like, at least in techno,
Yeah.
it is that way. It needs, it lasts until like 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah, and that's just a regular club in
A
Mexico?
regular club.
Okay.
Yes.
So the afters and the regular
Well,
event
the
are
afters-
kind of merged.
Yes.
Or are there still afters after those afters?
Well, Mexicans a little crazy sometimes, but
Okay.
it is like you go out later in the night.
Okay.
Not. I mean, I feel like here you have to. I mean, I like nights to be long.
Me too.
So I go here. I have to go like at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm supporting also friends and stuff, but it's like. You need to arrive early because it finishes early.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you'll miss your friends if you don't
exactly.
go early. Yeah.
It's
No, I
like-
feel that. I feel that for sure. But actually, going back a little bit to what we were just talking about the church, the last time that I went to the church actually was for your gig.
Yes.
And who were you opening for that night?
It was Lily Palmer that night.
Yes.
Yes, that was fun.
Yes, that was a really fun night. Your set was so good that night. I got some
Thank
really
you
good
so
pictures.
much.
I got some
Thank
really
you.
great pictures of that
It was
night.
more of a hypnotic set. But
Yeah,
yes.
it was, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. But it was interesting because when we got there, because we got there a little bit early with you, of course, and I believe there was kind of a gang of us with you. There was probably 6 of us with you, right? So there's like 6, 7, 8 people total, trying to get in the club before the club opens, right?
yeah.
And I understand why that would be like kind of annoying to club staff.
Yeah.
The way that they handled us outside though was absolutely insane. I don't think I've
Yeah.
even told you this story yet.
No.
So after you and the boys went in, because
Yeah.
it was you and
My photographer.
Yep,
and
your
yeah.
photographer
Yeah,
and
my friend.
and your friends, right?
Yeah.
So there was you and the boys, and then outside, my friend and I stayed behind because I believe we got there at like 9:50 and the club didn't open till 10.
Yeah.
So they made us stay outside for 10 minutes, which
Jeez.
again, a little bit annoying, but totally understandable and fine. It was what happened standing in that line for 10 minutes that was absolutely like appalling. The club, I would assume he was the manager on duty.
Yeah.
The guy with the iPad.
Oh yes, that guy.
He stood there and talked shit about dance music the whole time. Talked shit about how terrible DJs were, how terrible the crowd was, and the people that come to these events.
Oh, shit.
And it just absolutely talked shit about the industry that he was working for the whole time we were standing there.
Yeah.
And had I not loved the music so much and like known that he was just out of his mind, I probably would have been like turned off of even going to that
Yeah.
club, you know? And that's a problem.
It's not good for business either.
No, it's not good for business. And then the other thing was he checked my ID. I went through. My friend, he checked her ID, and then he like kept holding her ID. And so she walked past him a little ways and was like waiting for him to give her ID back. I believe she was also like messing with her fanny pack. And he was holding her ID and he turned around and he like kind of like didn't like grab her, but like, you know, like touched her arm and was like, hey, you can't go there. I need your ID. I need your ID. I need you to check her. And she was like, bro, you're literally holding my ID. And he's like, oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh shit.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like this is, and and I had probably 30 people on the guest list for that show that night, you know, just as an Insomniac employee. So there are definitely things that need to be changed for the club scene in Denver. And like, I know a lot of people are scared to say it, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, that's good because honestly, like that is not respectful.
No.
You know, I've been like, I mean, all of the times that I go to these clubs is because I'm playing.
Yeah.
I don't usually go to these clubs.
Me neither. The only
You
time I
know,
go to these clubs is when my
it's
friends are
or
playing.
my friends are playing. And, you know, last time when I was playing in another club, the bouncer were like very mean to everyone, you know, even like touching like, you know, the fence. And he was like shouting at this person. He was being very disrespectful, unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, and that is like, you know, it needs to be everything needs to connect in order to work well.
It does.
You
And I
know?
think that's where we kind of got spoiled living in the underground
Yeah.
a little bit is because all of our friends are throwing these events and all of our friends have the same ideas about the space and the industry that we do.
Yeah.
We curate spaces and people working in those spaces that are going to contribute to the overall vibe that we're going for.
Right.
And I think that that's something that needs to happen in regular club culture as well. And my hope is that the underground just coming to the front, to the top, is going to just kind of spill over.
Right.
Because I do have a lot of faith in the underground. And
the underground, it's always, I think it's always been there, and, there's like things that are like, up and down, like mainstream. Like, for example, I feel like right now the hard techno, right? It's like the peak time.
TikTok techno.
Exactly. So, but at some point, like, it's like a loop, it like goes back to the roots.
Yeah.
And so it's like eventually when people get tired of that, or, it's like you just come back and learn from the roots.
Yep. Yep. And I love, so that's something that actually kind of naturally leads us into something else that I wanted to talk to you about. Excuse me. Are you familiar with the Tomorrowland fire?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So I've noticed a lot of festivals this summer, a lot of overproduced festivals this summer getting literally ruined by weather and disasters.
Yeah.
And I think that shows us a valuable lesson that we need to dial it back a notch with the production.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you can ask somebody to pay $600 to come to one of your festivals just for a ticket, and then they get there and the weather cancels the whole thing because you can't do your production, I don't think that's fair.
No, that's true. And, this overwhelming production.
Yeah.
For me, it is. It's like, it's kind of sometimes a little sad how much money they spend to do that. And then they underpay artists.
Absolutely.
And then why
are we there?
Exactly. All this money to do Disneyland with a stage.
Yep.
Yep. And then locals are playing in like small rooms and you pay them like nothing.
$200.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, sometimes, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I would do it for free.
Exactly. And everybody would.
Exactly. To put your foot on the forefront. But, it's like at some point, you need to start not losing.
Yes, absolutely.
Tracks cost, productions cost, your time is valuable, and it's like, you see them like gaining all of this money and it's like,
and
karma.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
No, I don't think that you should be kidding. I think that's a valid point, and I think that it's something that we're all kind of just being shown. Right now, and I actually didn't keep up to see what Tomorrowland was going to do about.
Me neither.
But I did see right after the fire happened, I saw a lot of people in the community saying, "Fuck it, let's still go." Let's still listen to the music.
Yeah.
Let's go and do what we were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
And I think if they have to put a card table up there with the DJ, then that's fine.
That's fine. It's about the music.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I saw that too. I saw a lot of people there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so let's transition a little bit to how your current work that you've been doing as an individual DJ is translating into some new projects that you're working with.
Yes. So I've been working in several projects, and the first one, actually, I know we were gonna touch about Quantica, since it's part of the project.
Yeah.
So I started, like about a year and a half, 2 years ago, like drafting this idea of creating this like Mexican American brand of a label mostly, and I am the person that likes to take their time to do things right rather than rushing them just because I said I was gonna do it this day.
Yes.
And so it's been taking me a little bit, but it's picking up back. And I'm very glad because, like the idea has been transformed into all of these like social impact kind of like revolutionary type of, topics. And so I'm building this by myself and hoping to invite, I already invited some, I'm trying to invite some others to the first EP, which is going to be, and this happened all before, all of this like migration stuff and all that. But this first EP, it's gonna be focused on migration and not precisely on people, but mostly like what is migration? What is the definition for you? You know, that's what I want to ask to each artist in order to build a narrative. And so, for example, it's so funny because for me, I was, you know, just on my spare time, I was just writing about how if we colonize, you know, Mars and the moon, how are you going to be a citizen of the moon? Are we going to translate that migration to, you know, other, you know, planets? What about, you know, who decides who stays, who, you know, leaves?
Yeah.
You know? And
That's
so
a really interesting concept,
I go
Jolie.
so deep, you know, and I love reading all about this. So then all of this happened about, you know, immigrants and stuff. And, you know, it was a great opportunity for me. I'm combining art with other people. For example, I'm combining art with a person that is doing art for Mutec, Mexico City. And so he has like pictures of, you know, people crossing the border from where I am from, you know, and, you know, trying to just use art in everywhere, you know, like the picture, you know, like it will be like the cover, and you know, the music, the vinyl, the narrative, the story, you know, and it takes a lot of time to build that. So, you know, besides that, that is like the
that's
main
an incredible project. That's really, really cool.
Thank you so much. It's been taking a little bit, but yeah.
No, I love that concept, and that's something that, like, I mean, my mind's already reeling about what I would consider, you know.
Exactly. It can be, you know, atoms, or it can be, you know, animals, you know, like what is migration?
What is migration
to you?
What is migration? We'll ask the listeners, what is migration? We'll get you some.
Send me the answers.
Yeah, send us the answers. Okay, cool. So so that is Quantica.
Quantica, yes, and I'm hoping to finish, and this is gonna be all vinyl and also digital, but all of the releases will have vinyl pressing.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm finishing.
I feel like we're all preparing for digitals to go away.
Yeah,
like we're all like, if something needs to be made into a hard copy, let's make it into a hard copy, because like shit might hit the fan soon.
I think there is a beauty on, like, you know, the old school and holding the music. You know, we're also gonna do cassettes, but I know nobody can.
Okay, all my DJ friends are like, look at this cassette I have. I'm like, how am I gonna play that?
I know.
How am I gonna play that?
The relic of having it in your hands, you know, it's more of like it's something that you're proud
Literally,
of.
I have been given 2 mixtapes from my friends this trip that are on cassette tapes.
Love them.
I'm like, I can't even. I'm my 2005 Toyota Camry doesn't even have a tape deck anymore.
Oh no,
like,
I don't even have where to listen to them. But
oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But there's a beauty between holding analog as well.
I agree. And so Quantica is a Lorely project.
Yes,
right.
That is a
just
Lorely
you.
project.
Okay.
Yes.
And then there is a new music collective.
Yes.
In Denver. And it is called Unseen.
Unseen. So
Tell us a little bit about that.
So after the idea of Quantica came, I was like, okay, I also want to do parties. And, you know, I had very rough idea what I wanted on the parties. More like, you know, I am a raver besides anything, you know. I was started as a raver, so I really know what I'm going for on a dance floor. Yeah. You know, and like seeing, like visualizing, hearing everything. So I get annoyed a lot about, you know, lighting. You know?
Oh, girl, don't even get me started. If Hyro's outside, then he will be busting through the door soon. Because the lighting is so important.
So it's so important, and sometimes it's just very, I don't know, there is no concept behind the lighting when people are doing events, and, you know, it can give you like even like a headache. Yeah. You know, just for the lighting. And I don't know, and the sound should be as important as a headliner. You know?
Absolutely.
So the parties had this like rough conception that I wanted to put together, you know, and I don't know. I know there's other collectives that already are aiming for that as well, but, you know, it's just a different concept what I try to do. And I met with Dustin Holsberry first, and I present my proposal in my house. I invited him for dinner, to him and his wife. And I presented like, hey, first it was going to be called Quantica, you know, and then I'm like, no, let's separate this. You know, this is more like kind of a group thing. So then I invited another friend, and we became three. And the mission and vision of Quantica is more to convey generative art by designing an experience or a space through the conceptualization of light architecture and sound design.
I just literally got goosebumps. I literally got goosebumps.
I know that from memory.
I don't know, holy mackerel.
And it's been a difficult journey. We started around a year and a half ago, so it's been over a year that we've been doing events, and every event is just learning opportunity. It's all about that. And we obviously are trying to focus on the little small details, but yeah, I'm very happy with the last outcomes. We just had a party this past Saturday. It's been one of the best, in terms of everything smooth, like sales, in terms of people having a smiley face. We don't accept phones. We cover the cameras. So it's more like enjoy the moment.
Yep.
We don't allow phones at the dance floor. You want to, text your friend, go to the back, man. There is a chill area for you to, enjoy your phone.
Yeah.
But not here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just becoming more and more what we want to be.
So people can go to unseen events and experience Quantica. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is very interrelated. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The idea was born through Quantica, and it's, generative art, which is also scientific.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and art is scientific.
Yes, and Quantica is quantum in English. So it's related.
Yeah, well, it is absolutely related. And so I have quantum. We don't need to get into quantum physics right now. That's for a different podcast. Yes. Okay, well, I think that there's only one thing left to talk about, and that's the rest of our lives. So what do we see happening in the next, let's say, in the next year?
Yeah,
what do you want to accomplish in the industry?
Well, a lot of things happening. I am being very grateful that a lot of opportunities have opened in Denver. I usually don't play that much in Denver, but lately there's been like a lot of demand for opening quite big DJs, which is an honor. And it might not be my preferred music taste, but it allows me to show my art, and it's a great opportunity, exposure. And so I'm going to be playing in August 1st at the Junkyard for Sarah Landry. And that's going to be, I am very excited for that one because I never been to the Junkyard, and I know firsthand that it's been remodeled, like this giant thing. So, and it's Sarah Landry. Every time she comes here, I think apart from two times, but she's been here every year. She was here in November and I opened for her.
Yeah.
So every time she comes, I am always selected to open for her, and I thank that to Brennan a lot. And that is one. And then I'm gonna open for 9x9 at Real Works as well. With also the AEG group, which they've been opening doors to me as well lately, and I am very thankful for that. Into the scene more to put my part. I think with Unseen is what I am trying to focus more into, trying to help the scene grow in the underground. And for example, in my shows that I do, I don't play because I feel like, I'm the director of the movie.
Anais and I talked about that in our interview. We talked about how her and Simon prefer not to play their own shows either.
Yeah.
If they can help
it. I haven't played on any of my shows. So it's it's more towards giving people the opportunity, a platform to express themselves.
And that's cool for you too. Mm-hmm. That's a really powerful position for you to be in, to choose the people that you're going to have tell the story at your event.
Exactly. And more about also learning and respecting the art of every artist, because I don't want to be the person saying hey, you have to play this way because you're opening. I've been in that position, and although I can do it, it's more of learning how to curate a night as a promoter, you know, and that will eventually lead to having a good experience at the dance floor.
Yeah.
So I think that is what I am trying to focus in. You know, we just did Unseen, a nonprofit organization as well. Because this is this collective is for the people.
Yeah.
You know, we don't try to profit in any way from this. You know, it's more towards, you know, I've been fortunate enough to have you know, the networking or the network or like, you know, the opportunities. So maybe, you know, find a way to share them with others.
Absolutely. I love that. There's something to be said for somebody who can take an opportunity and turn it into something good, not just for themselves, but bring other people opportunity from it as well.
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of big beauty of the underground, because that's really how things grow in the underground. You know, I always say, if you stay to help with loadout, then you can hang out with us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
right? Yeah.
And I think that that's just kind of always been the idea behind. It's like it is a collective work. It's a collective effort, and it's a collective and more by every definition of the word.
Exactly. That's what, for example, in this last event, we tried to partner with other artists. For example, we brought this person that he was doing like AV, you know, augmented reality. There's this other person that tries to do like video with, you know, some kind of like CCTV cameras, old school with glitches. It's like, you know, it's like everybody coming together to do something for the community.
I love your guys' the whole aesthetic of Unseen is so cool. Like all the videos that you guys release with the artist drops. I'm like, oh, this is so sweet.
Yes.
And I think that it's like you said, your biggest goal for the industry is to really create something that teaches people how we do things.
Exactly.
You know, in the right way. And it's something that's been created by people who have been doing it.
Exactly.
And who have been done by the people who did it before.
Exactly.
You know, and that's something that's really important for me with Public Knuisance. I always say that I don't want to be involved in anything that doesn't have a greater community impact. If we are doing something that's just one-off for that purpose, you can do it by yourself. But if this is going to reach farther, if this is going to help more people, if this is going to have an impact that can be larger than we are, then I'm down to promote it.
Exactly.
I'm down to promote it. I'm down to talk about it. And like, let's also talk about why we're doing it that way. Because when you give somebody the background information about why you're doing something the way you did it, they have more respect.
Yeah, exactly.
To follow your direction.
Exactly. And I just everybody's in the same level, and I kind of, you know, when it is, I feel like I win when I see people winning.
Yes, me too. Yeah, and it's like even with things like money, like I used to be so stressed about money, and you know, I lived in Denver for 10 years, so gosh, you can imagine.
You're a veteran.
Yeah, like scraping by. But even with money, it's like, I feel like when I started giving it away, it came back to me faster.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And if we can do something with that, like with the energy, with the money, with all the resources and connections that we all have collectively, like we think we can do something really cool.
Exactly. And well, that's just one part of the life, and the other part is just space.
Yes. Cool. Well, awesome. That was a really, really awesome way to talk about the new collectives that you have working, and Quantica. That's so exciting.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to plug or say before we're done?
No, I think no, I'm done. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.